joining us today. Good stuff, Johnny Mack. Day 16 of camp yesterday is wrapped up. It was the open practice, and now, as you just said, the BLG, the final day of training camp. What you call it? The last day of school for everybody.
Unfortunately, school starts on Monday, though. It starts right back up. There's no vacation. Yeah, but I'm glad I got the Makai question in because maybe I was being too hard on him, but he kind of agreed with me. So, I mean, I just, every time and he had a better description of it. Every time they designed a play to get him the football, there was no separation. And until they put him in the backfield, hit him away, and the defense blew the coverage and didn't know he was there, and he snuck out and got an easy touchdown. My point is, though, with Sanders, you can't count on that week after week.
Right.
This is a first-round pick who's got to be able to win on conventional routes, and right now he's not doing that. Again, against very good cornerbacks, you have to put that. I talk about reps all the time. Like third team against third team isn't impressing me as much as going against Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and Reek Woolen. And right now, against those guys, he's overmatched. And that's a concern for me. But he hasn't practiced a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's early. How much do you factor that in, right? Like, it's tough to say. It's concerning, but he also hasn't practiced. You know what I mean? Like, how do you reconcile those two things?
Well, I know he's not getting better athletically.
Okay, so you don't think this is about being an early player. Your concerns are more lie on, is he not cut out for the NFL?
Well, I don't want to go that far. I mean, he's a first round pick. It's not like the Eagles went off the reservation and said, and everybody else had him graded as
right. I mean, a lot of people had him higher than the Eagles took him. Well, so what made him that? What made him such a high graded draft prospect?
Everybody talked about, his route running, his toughness, his catch, the Amon-Ra St. Brown comparisons. He's that style of player, which is more about short area quickness than speed. It's more about that physicality. It's more about out physicaling. You're not going to out physical Cooper DeJean, but the beauty of that is you don't have to play Cooper DeJean every week. So maybe he can out physical normal slot corners. That's certainly a possibility. So I'm not saying he can't play. Like I'm not at the JJ McCarthy level with him. But all I'm trying to say is to the point where I look over at Andrew and I go, what is going on here? It's a little bit concerning because Elijah Moore is playing better, but again, hasn't practiced much. Hopefully it'll pick up soon. Although I won't see it because this will be the last time I can look at practice.
Wow. Who you more concerned on right now, Lemon or Stowers?
It's a good question. I think Stowers is less concerning because I think his athleticism will show up at some point. I don't know if he can block. I don't know if you have to move him to basically a king-size wide receiver, but he's a freaky athlete, like to the point where like no tight end in the history of the combine had a vertical leap that he had, and his speed is like whatever 95th percentile. Like he's a crazy athlete for his position. Crazy. Makai's more of a technique. Makai's more of a technical, or he's supposed to be a technical, fundamental football player, advanced football player. Generally, I'm looking at what he ran, 4.53. Generally, if you run a 4.53, The only way you're a first-round pick in the NFL is if you're Drake London sized, Ted McMullen sized. Like you're a big X
Right.
receiver. I'm a little bit concerned about how his athleticism translates to the NFL right now. But hopefully he can start to show some of that short area quickness that we haven't seen yet. Maybe that's hamstring related. Maybe he's not comfortable with it yet. And maybe when he gets comfortable, it'll start showing up.
Well, we got to see what it looks like with these two guys. I guess it's also a little bit of uncharted territory from the last couple of years because, like I said, the BLG, the draft picks have been so good, and now I don't know if they're not going to be an impact. Definitely doesn't feel like Stowers is going to be an impact this year.
No.
Lemon, I don't know. I mean,
well, he's going to be given up. I mean, they just threw him back in for all the first team reps, basically. With the vast majority, they kind of mixed in Coop a little bit and Moore even a tiny bit, but
you think they keep 6 receivers? McMahon is at 6.
They might have to because he's not ready. They might have to,
which would be Cooper and Elijah, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the stuff they're dealing with, and they'll figure it out. Well, they only have until Sunday, but you can make a lot of moves after Sunday. And, the initial 53 probably won't even be the 53 as you hit Washington on September 13th. They'll probably make changes. So, but yeah, I mean, they might have to keep both guys at least early on.
Well, you're getting me a little more nervous on. I normally come to you, John, when I need to be talked off the ledge. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little concerned here. Makai Lemon just hasn't looked great yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's just the hamstring, and it could be as simple as that. But right now, I haven't seen the athleticism that you need to be. Because remember, long term, they want him to be more than a slot receiver. Like right now, he looks like a strictly slot receiver to me. Like he's not going to impact anybody outside. But it's way too early to make that declaration. Last night, he did not play well, but he had a touchdown.
He did have a touchdown. All right, good stuff. We got a couple super chats. Let's get to them. Here's Wild Bear. What's up, Wild Bear? Good to see you. Member for 18 months. Thank you very much. I haven't been able to fully watch a game, but I've been finding some highlights. I think people are overreacting about the preseason. John, what say you?
Well, people always overreact in the preseason. That's nothing new. Preseason is not. I assume you're talking about preseason games. They're not important. I don't know how many other ways I can say it. It's not that big of a deal. You're talking about backup players against backup players. It's important for them. I don't want to downplay it for them, but it doesn't translate to. I say it all the time on this show. All reps are not created equal. Third team reps are not as valuable as first team reps. And when you see a guy improving, when a third team guy starts getting second team reps, he's improving. When a second team guy starts getting first team reps, he's improving. Those are the things you have to look for. The games are lying to you. That's in the book of 1,001 NFL cliches. Preseason is in it, and preseason lies to you. Is the thought in the league. If you're just looking at production and things like that.
Let's see what it looks like. Wild Bear, thank you. Here's Chosen One John, the Cole Payton superfan checks in. The more Hurts throws, the more inconsistency you see. You're going to see the underthrown balls and more turnovers. We just run the ball to run the ball. KP's not dumb.
Well, again, I was in that press conference and I knew how people would take it, and they don't understand what he was saying. Anybody who watches football knows you run the ball just to run the ball on occasion, depending on game situation. The most obvious example, what do you do when the game's over and you're just running out the clock? It's victory formation, right? Well, technically that's a run. Do you want them to throw then? No, you run the ball to run the ball. Same thing if you're ahead by 2 touchdowns, 4 minutes. Sometimes you just run the ball to run the ball. That's what he was talking about. It's obvious. Everybody does it. It's not weird, but he said it incorrectly to where people took the baton in the direction they took the baton. And I knew it the moment he said it. And it's silly that people still talk about it. They've been, in the entire history, you've all been watching the Philadelphia Eagles, every coach, every coordinator, every play call has at times run the ball just to run the ball. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Here is B Pumper. Pumper returns. Oprah Hertz was on one last night. You get a pick. You get a pick. You get a pick. Jalenites will never sleep if B Pump blesses y'all with his presence.
Well, he only gave out 2 picks, so not everybody in Oprah's audience got one. But he has thrown a lot of interceptions over the summer. I don't know what that means, but he has thrown a lot of interceptions.
Pump, good one. Here's Pump again. M. Reyes is Tecate can do a number on Howie. MF for ruin my precious GM SMH. What does that mean? The beer can, I assume?
Tecate, I think is, what is that? Is tequila? What? I don't know, but or is it a beer? I don't know.
M. Reyes is one of our viewers, John, who's a big Jalenite, we'll call him.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, it's a beer. Okay. Did a number on Howie. So we're killing Howie now? Are we?
I think he's talking about the beer can hit him in the head. I don't know, man.
Maybe the beer can on the head. Yeah, the beer can did hit him. Did we know what kind of beer can? Was it?
I thought it was like
that
Bud Light, wasn't it? Didn't Bud Light sponsor the whole parade?
Yeah, they did. But I think people brought their own beer, so they could have thrown anything.
True. That's true. I was down there. People definitely brought their own beer. Here's Chosen One John again. He says, it's not Lemon. It's the quarterback. He is not getting separation. He was ranked 87th in college in separation. Hurts doesn't throw wide receivers open or in windows.
Well, that ain't a good sign, by the way. You can criticize Jalen all you want, but if he can't get separation as a slot receiver, there's not much any quarterback is going to do with him. So, you shouldn't be a first-round pick if that's the case. I don't know if it is the case, but obviously he won the Bolitnikov Award, so he got open in college at times. But it hasn't looked great. And it's only a handful of practices against some very, very good cornerbacks. I mean, and the one pick that Jalen threw that Woolen undercut Lemon. Yeah, I wouldn't have thrown it because because he can't get open against Woolen, who's got too much speed. So that's not, you can blame that on the quarterback, but then, if the wide receiver can't get open against high level NFL defenses, I mean, should he be a first round pick?
That's a fair question. We'll see. I don't want to be too doomer here on Makai Lemon. It's too early for me, but
you're going doomer on Jalen Hurts if you back that.
I'm not. That was
no.
John.
I'm not saying I'm not blaming you. I'm saying Jalen's more proven than Makai Lemon. That's for damn sure.
No doubt. No doubt about that. Abe says this. What's up, Abe? J-Mac, do you believe Lemon could possibly be used as a gadget player? Seems like that touchdown pass was a play where they had Lemon behind the line of scrimmage.
He is the exact opposite of a gadget player. He is where he's supposed to be. They did hide him in the backfield. They blew the coverage. No, he doesn't have the athleticism to be a gadget player or manufactured touch player. That's Elijah Moore's job if they keep him. You know, he'll run the jet sweeps, the orbit motion sweeps, the end arounds, whatever you want to do, bubble screens. He's not. No, he's supposed to be a route runner. He's supposed to be the exact opposite of a gadget player.
We'll see. All right, John, final couple minutes here of the show. We appreciate you doing it today, per usual. Last day of Eagles training camp today. You will be down there. Vic Fangio Day. What are you looking to hear from Vic today?
Something interesting. Not much to talk about because his defense is too stinking good. There's not much to complain about. Well, I'm sure he'll be asked about who the safety is, and I'm sure he'll say, I don't know, but he's known from 3 weeks ago. It'll be Marcus Epps. In the nickel. He just values Michael Carter's versatility too much. Cooper will play it in the base. So all the lineups are locked in. All the players are locked in, depending on when Grenard gets back. But he'll come up with something. He always does. Probably bemoan training camp ending so quickly. Not having enough time to prepare. Old
All right,
school.
John, good stuff. Yep, old school. We'll see how it goes today. John, appreciate you doing it today, brother. We will catch up with you later on after final training camp practice and then back in the morning tomorrow on Birds 365. Thank you, man.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, dude, later. There's Johnny Mack, John McMullen joining us right here